Today on Monkey Life, 2 consultant surgeons are called in to operate on Kaloo, the most recent chimp to be rescued by the park.
There we go, and a knife, please.
It could be her last chance.
All of my hopes are riding with the human doctors right now and hoping that they will join me in our mission to give Kaloo a family again.
And the autumn leaves are falling for the squirrel monkeys.
I think they're really excited to get in there now, they're all watching. You ready guys, come on now!
Plus, what a view. Female Johnny is top of the tree. Monkey World in Dorset, buried deep in the English countryside, is the largest sanctuary of its kind on the planet. The team, led by Dr. Alison, rescue and rehabilitate abused and unwanted primates from all over the world.
You just never know how it's gonna work.
The park provides a home for more than 260 primates from 24 different species. When the late Jim Cronin threw open the doors of Monkey World to welcome 9 young, traumatised chimpanzees in 1987, little could he have realised the sanctuary's rescue work would become a global operation, continuing over decades. In 34 years, more than 495 monkeys, apes and prosimians have been rescued and brought to the park, needing the help and expertise of the Monkey World team. The aim has always been to give them as natural a life as possible and allow them to live out their days in a safe and enriching environment. The most recent chimp to be rescued was Kaloo. Despite her age and serious health issues, Alison's determined to give her every chance.
It's been a relatively short period of time that she's been here, about 6 months now, and we've been going through all of these chasing different medical problems. So first it's the diabetes. We sort of deal with that. Now we have digestion problems and her feces are really poor and she appears to be losing weight. The other worrying thing is that at the same time, she started lying down and just not really wanting to get up. She's still not quite right. And it's a big concern for us.
Kaloo had been kept as a pet at a ranch in South Africa. When her owner died and no one could be found to rehome her, Alison stepped in. Her rescue was problematic. There were access issues with the ranch where she was staying, resulting in delays, and because of that, Kaloo had to be darted in her outside enclosure. It meant the team and Kaloo missed their flight, and the journey had to be rearranged. The chimp was given a thorough examination by wildlife vet John Lewis, and following a night under Jeremy's care, Kaloo was given the all clear to fly back to Dorset a day late.
Good girl!
Back at the park, her issues slowly became more apparent. She was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, requiring daily insulin injections. But her health deteriorated further. Persuading her to eat the right foods proved difficult. A number of health tests, including an ultrasound to check for pancreatitis, revealed Kaloo has a large number of gallstones, most likely caused by her previous poor diet in South Africa. The condition means she's in considerable pain.
What's clear to me is that she lived with a family, sort of eating human food, being fed an abundance of snacks and crisps and even alcohol, and that's taken its toll. It's taken its toll. It's made her diabetic. It's given her gallstones. I think the weight loss that everybody had witnessed in South Africa and her lack of appetite was the beginning of everything that we're seeing now. If she was still at Broadlands Farm in South Africa, she'd be dead by now, I think.
Alison is running out of options. But following discussions with a number of experts, 2 consultant surgeons have agreed to operate and remove the chimp's gallbladder.
I'm hoping that we can fix her and give her that chance. She could have 10 years to hang out with Brian and his mob and have a family again. And I guess that's what I'm holding on to, is again trying to give Kaloo something back. I'm now invested in her life. And a lot of people, oh, what a shame that you've made all of this effort to bring a chimp over from South Africa, and now she's got all this raft of medical issues. It is a shame, but not a shame for me. It's a shame for her.
Alison feels Kaloo deserves all the help the park can offer, but is realistic about the chimp's chances.
This is the last chance saloon, because I will not be the one that keeps her propped up and going if she's in a state of pain. That's not going to happen. So all of my hopes are riding with the human doctors right now, and hoping that they will join me in our mission to give Kaloo a family again.
The park covers more than 65 acres of Dorset countryside. It takes a lot of maintaining, particularly during the windy and wet autumn months. Following a powerful storm, the maintenance team have discovered a precarious oak tree needing to be felled as a safety precaution. But it won't go to waste. The chimp team are constantly on the lookout for useful items to improve and adapt the enclosures of the 4 resident groups. They reckon the trunk will make a great addition at Hananya's. The heavy oak needs some serious lifting gear to prop it up and secure it safely against the huge climbing frame in the enclosure. It's just the sort of thing to appeal to the chimps and get the whole group interested and active. The morning release is usually an excitable time, but today Hananya's troop of 18 are a little wary. They could hear the commotion when the trunk was put up and are a bit suspicious of something new in their home. Leader Hananya casts an eye over the tree trunk, but gives it a wide berth for now. Nothing much phases Cherry. With daughter Thelma close behind, she's already near the top of the oak, and she's spotted some remaining leaves worth munching. She's still a high-ranking female within the group, which gives her an advantage over some of the others. But it's Johnny who's climbed even higher. She's now the dominant female. She's a little more headstrong than the other girls and quite happy to throw her weight around to get what she wants. At the bottom of the tree, and the rankings, is Arthur. He's stripped off a piece of bark and is tucking in. Bark can be full of fibre, vitamins and minerals, all necessary for a healthy diet. Quite a few of the chimps seem to have a taste for it. Although Kiki is making do with a twig. The chimp's reaction to the dead tree trunk explains why there are no living trees in their enclosures. In the wild, chimps eat leaves and bark, so the trees at Monkey World didn't stand a chance. At ground level, an excited Hananya joins in with Simon and Shamak. But the morning's scatter feed of vegetables soon puts an end to the interest in the tree. And there's no problem persuading Thelma to eat her greens. This start to the day gives all the chimps an opportunity to grab some breakfast and find a quiet spot to eat it in peace. Changes to the group's home creates excitement, bonding, and a new food source. The tree will be left in place as something different to explore. At the Squirrel Monkey House, the group of 5 are about to get something a little different to liven up their morning. The autumnal weather has presented an opportunity for the primate care team to bring the outside in. They've collected lots of autumn leaf fall and they're filling the tunnel systems which connect the squirrel monkey bedrooms with a carpet of leaves. Keris is then going to add a few of their favourite foods. Live mealworms.
We just always want to come up with exciting enrichment ideas for them, just to keep them entertained. And this is kind of going to be a natural behaviour that they would forage in the wild, and they'll spend ages amongst all of this because obviously the bugs can get everywhere. So yeah, I think they'll be really excited, and I think they're really excited to get in there now. They're all watching.
Squirrel monkeys love to forage, and when outside, spend hours hunting for insects and bugs.
They also really enjoy waxworms and locusts, but mealworms is one of their favourite, and it can just be easily spread amongst obviously all of this, and more hidden as well, obviously camouflage with the brown leaves and keep them occupied for longer, which is what we try and do here, obviously with the enrichment. You ready guys? Come on now!
The slides to the tunnels are opened, and an eager group of squirrel monkeys rush straight in. It's the inquisitive youngsters, Lopez and Nueve, who are first on the scene. These two love to have fun. They're constantly on the go. The sight of all the tasty mealworms has tickled their taste buds, and they go into foraging overdrive. The leaves and insects encourage them to hunt just as they would in the wild. Grandma of the group is Turvy, and today she's in her element. She's thought to be around 30 years old and arrived at the park 13 years ago, having spent most of her life as a pet. She may not be as sprightly as she once was, but she can still forage with the best of them. She meticulously works through the leaves to find the tasty treasures underneath. Squirrel monkeys come from the Amazon basin of South America. They're mainly tree dwellers, used to being high up in the canopy, and use all four limbs to move from branch to branch. The tunnel system is a useful way for them to move around, although today it seems not everyone is as keen on its new carpet of leaves. Lucille is partial to the grubs, but finds easier pickings in the bedrooms. The biggest of the bunch, Logan, is being his usual careful and considered self. He's not as gung-ho as the two youngsters. The enrichment has been a huge success. The squirrel monkeys have been kept busy and active, and with so much to explore and hunt, they can keep coming back for more throughout the day. It's an important day at the park's hospital, and for sick chimp Kaloo. Alison has called in two local gastroenterologist consultant surgeons to remove Kaloo's gallbladder. The operation will be performed with the help of wildlife vet John Lewis, who will oversee Kaloo's care and administer her anaesthetic. The surgeons have performed the procedure many times, but always on people, never a chimp. John has come prepared with an encyclopedia on chimp anatomy for consultants Oliver Allenby-Smith and Angela Brent.
It looks extremely similar, actually, I have to say. Some of the muscles looking at it are slightly longer in one direction or the other, but the internal organs are all in exactly the same place. I'm just checking these pictures to make sure that there's no surprises that I wasn't aware of. You know, chimps and humans, we know, share a great deal of the DNA anyway, and so hopefully that will stand us in good stead.
Kaloo has gallstones, which can be extremely painful, particularly after eating. The gallbladder stores bile and is something humans can live without. Chimps share 96% of human DNA, so it's the same for them.
There are two reasons you can't just remove the stones. As I say, one is they come back again. The other one is that the gallbladder is not very good at healing. So essentially, if we make a hole in it to take the gallstones out, it won't heal itself back up again. Not like skin or something that when we get a cut in it, it heals. The gallbladder won't do that. And so we don't really have an option, actually. Once you open the gallbladder and make a hole in it, you have to remove it.
The primate care team have successfully anaesthetised Kaloo and brought her straight into the hospital. Now she needs to be weighed.
Her weight is 34.3. 34.3. Worse than we thought then.
The reading confirms the team's suspicions. Kaloo has lost even more weight. It's not a good sign. Before surgery can begin, the chimp must be intubated.
Going through the larynx. Right now, we're in.
And her vital signs kept stable. Not an easy task with Kaloo.
Going down, if anything.
John has had to anaesthetise her several times in the last few months and is well prepared.
Can somebody read those numbers to me?
85 and 98.
Right. Well, she's breathing fine.
He's happy for the operation to go ahead.
Let's get her into theatre.
Or do we want to?
It's serious surgery, and they clean and prepare the area on Kaloo's stomach before they proceed.
Well, we are ready to whenever you want to now, aren't we?
Go on in, take her gallbladder out.
Go on then. Let's have some gillies, actually, I think. Just a second. There we go. And a knife, please. Thank you.
Oliver and Angela begin. Carefully cutting through the abdominal muscle and tissue to locate the gallbladder.
And some forceps, please.
But they soon discover operating on a chimp is a little different to their usual human patients.
Presumably they normally have a full peritoneal cavity like us, like rather than separate compartments.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're into cavity with liver and gallbladder there, but it's fused inferiorly, so
Really?
there's no cavity below it, so it took us a while to find a way in, which is a bit odd, but I don't know. Anyway, we've got a view of gallbladder.
Oliver has located the gallbladder and can manipulate it freely.
Oh yeah, tiny little stones, loads of little ones. Maybe she's been getting recurrent pancreatitis or something.
The presence of so many stones inside the organ could be the cause of Kaloo's pancreatitis and explain why she's been off her food in recent months.
Scissors, please. That's great. And there we go. That one can come off there. That is the gallbladder. Those are what the stones are like, tiny little things.
And that would look the same in people?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The surgical team are happy the procedure has gone smoothly. Now they need to close Kaloo up, using layers of stitches to knit her muscles back together and secure the surgical site.
She had lots of tiny little gallstones, which we do see sometimes in humans, but is not the most common type of gallstones we get. But sometimes those can actually cause more trouble, those are the tiny little ones. So I think we were just talking about it, and I think it may well be the cause of her illness and why she's not been eating and losing weight and things. Now the gallbladder's gone, we'll just have to see first of all how she recovers from the surgery, and then how she gets on with eating and drinking and things afterwards.
Kaloo is returned to the bedrooms at Brian's group. She'll be closely monitored by John and Jeremy until she wakes up. Everyone is keeping their fingers crossed the operation will solve her major medical issues and she can begin to enjoy life at the park with the new chimp family she deserves. The care team are constantly adapting and evolving how they care for the primates in their charge. A big part of the task is coming up with different ways of delivering food in order to keep the animals stimulated and active. Sometimes, however, a natural option presents itself. Today, it's the small monkey team who are taking advantage of an early autumn perennial. Sunflower heads full of ready-to-eat seeds.
So we're in the Saki enclosure and we've got these sunflower heads. They may look a bit worse for wear, but they do have plenty of seeds on them, and that's what the Sakis really like. In the wild, the Sakis will eat lots of seeds and nuts. So if you look inside, all of the seeds are still good, so they'll be, hopefully, picking all of these out and then eating all of the seeds that will be in the heads. So we'll spread these all around.
Devoted Sakis Desmond and Chloe are the lucky pair benefiting from the treat. The seeds are an excellent source of vitamins and minerals, and a useful way of persuading the couple to forage, replicating their natural diet.
The Sakis are very much a mixed pair. We've got Chloe, who is the oldest Saki monkey in Europe. She's 28 now, so she very much likes her creature comforts. She won't be dangling off any branches anytime soon to get these, so we'll have to put a few on the easier platforms. And then we've got Desmond, who is 11 years old. He is a lot more fit, a lot more agile than Chloe, because he's still in his prime. But he is not the bravest of animals, should we say. So he'll probably wait for Chloe to investigate first, make sure she figures it out, and then he'll probably get in there for all the food after that.
Desmond is first to venture out, and this time he takes the lead. He might be half Chloe's age, but the pair are smitten. When they're not feeding or foraging, they spend most of their time at each other's side. Saki monkeys are naturally cautious, and Desmond takes his role as his mate's protector very seriously. Once he's confident the sunflowers don't pose a risk or a threat, he bravely approaches, sniffs, then tastes. Once he's worked out what's hidden in their heads, he's soon tucking into the tiny seeds. But Chloe isn't convinced yet. She takes her time deciding if foraging for the seeds is worth the effort, but eventually comes round to her mate's way of thinking. Saki monkeys originate from the rainforests of South America and are found in countries such as Brazil, Venezuela, and Guyana. They prefer to spend their time in the middle to lower canopy level of the trees. Their long, skinny fingers and toes have thick pads on the tips to give them a better grip. Their long tails are primarily used for balance and are not prehensile. They have extremely large canine teeth, perfect for piercing and cracking open nuts, and today, hundreds of sunflower seeds. The pair have enjoyed this natural treat, but Chloe's had enough, and, like a love-struck teenager, wherever she goes, Desmond soon follows. Next time on Monkey Life. Alison collects a family of 3 marmosets living in a birdcage and needing a new home.
Hi, you.
And it's weigh-in day for the gibbons.
Come on in. Who's coming? Oh, good boy, Sam.